I guess it might be a few months ago now even, we talked about the newest Pandemic version, the Cthulhu one that was announced. They've just announced another new Pandemic, which is Pandemic Iberia. And this one, we again just announced, we don't know a lot about the specific gameplay details, but the gimmick is it takes place on the Iberian Peninsula in 1848. So you're dealing with the diseases of malaria, typhoid. Is that what it's called? Typhoid. Typhoid. We don't have to worry about these anymore and stuff like that. But so you have a much more. It's old kind of medicine and technology that you don't have the same kind of systems that we have today. So I assume some of that's taking into account. And also, this is when they were first building.
Wait. Are you saying this takes place in the past or in the future when enough anti-vaccinations?
No, past.
Okay.
Past. Definitely past. You could roleplay that if you wanted to, though. And there's also railroads being built and like stuff like that, and new weathers and events that can affect you in that vein, fitting in with that era. So this is coming out in fall 2016. So that's the first interesting thing is that setting. Mm-hmm. And the other interesting thing, I think, more interesting perhaps, because now it seems like new Pandemic versions is not something that's going to be novel for very long, is...
when do you think we're going to get Pandemic Junior?
Well, I hope soon. Did you ever play Clue Junior?
No, I have not played Clue Junior.
We used to have Clue Junior.
Was it the first someone taps on...
I'm pretty sure it wasn't even... It was like a roll and move, and
No, I was thinking like, how the original Clue someone got murdered?
Yeah.
And this one's like, someone got hit, boo-boo.
No, there was no murder. Yeah, it was like someone stole something, I don't know.
Because I know like DC Comics, like regular DC Batman Superman met the kid, like the Justice League Junior versions of themselves, and they're like, wait, your parents are dead? No! Someone stole their candy and I asked for justice. It's just
Lex Luthor stole 40 pies.
That's canon.
And it was terrible. But no, this one, the other thing that I think is interesting is that they're calling this I'm not sure if there's two versions, but it sounded like they're coming out with a collector's edition and that it's a limited printing. And that after that, you're not going to be able to find it anymore. And I didn't see that they said anywhere they were going to be coming out with a normal edition. It sounds like this could be a limited run, although I'm sure if it's very successful, they'll print more. But that's, I don't know. I feel like that's probably just, my guess is that's just they want to generate buzz, because people would be mad.
Well, no, my guess is what's going to happen is when this releases, the limited edition is going to release, and only the limited, and maybe a year later they release the regular version.
Yeah,
which
that
would
would
because I mean, sure, there's a lot of different versions of Pandemic, but people want to be able to come across one copy of the game, and it sort of sucks when, let's even take the fact of let's say you weren't even really into board games yet, and then by the time okay, I'm in. I really like Pandemic.
Right.
I want to get them all. Well, too bad.
6 years later.
That's why I like timed I mean, I can understand if the limited print, that's fine, because as long as you can still play the game later on, that's still...
Yeah, right. You have the deluxe edition or whatever
Right.
it is, the special edition.
Or an alternate art kind of stuff.
The only way I could see kind of if it was just literally a one and done is if it was really just an aesthetic change. If there was...
No, exactly. No, in essence, alternate art.
Yeah, right.
But from the sound of it, this is not that.
It sounds like at least a little bit. It's got to be some differences, because...
I'm very curious how different it's going to be, because I was realizing when we made the joke earlier.
Yeah.
You actually name diseases.
Oh, right.
Usually when we play Dynamic, we're like, okay, this is bird flu, and this is
Yeah, we have to make it up. It's just distant future diseases or whatever it would be. Yeah.
Oh, the cursed blue flu.
You have to discover the vaccines, and they get what's the famous guy who made vaccines? I don't know. Polio might be in this, I think. Yeah, you have find it almost sounds like more of a civilization kind of thing.
No, and I think that actually would be a really good twist on it. Focus a lot more on the civilization building to the cure aspect than simply just actual.
It's not like you got to go there and you have to research and actually discover cures and stuff.
Well, no, maybe even think of
you do, I guess.
the infrastructure of like you said, building train tracks. Like if I build a train track here, I might be able to get resources from here to quicker, but then disease might be able to travel there and stuff. Like, so I think that, I mean, like we said, we don't know anything, but I think focusing more on the civilization aspect and a disease spreading could bring a lot, could bring that new flair to pandemic instead of just the simple pandemic old version.
And it sounds like they're, at least with that railroads, because they mentioned that a lot, they're going in that direction,
Yes.
I think, at least a little bit.
So I think we're optimistic about this.
Yeah, it's pandemic. I'm sure we'll get to play it at Gen Con, but I believe it's they said fall, so it won't be released until the fall 2016 of this year, not of next year.